This is a revisited Saturday morning TV log from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews.
Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm the Big D, and this is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Here we are with another revisited Saturday Morning TV log, where I will be revisiting some of my earlier Saturday Morning TV logs in a newer way. Now with some pictures and what have you. So, today I'm going to be tackling another spook-tacular series. After the Sabrina the Teenage Witch animated series from Filmation was so successful, we got introduced to some spook-tacular cousins of hers. And they were kind of, well, patterned after the classic Universal movie monsters. Who are they, you ask? They are Drac, Frank, and Wolfie, and others. So now, without further ado, let us head to Horrible Hall and revisit the classic series known as Groovie Goolies. Groovie Goolies is a fun-filled, spooktacular animated series spun off from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. The series premiered on CBS in 1970 and was produced by Filmation. Okie dokie, the Groovie Goolies. Oh wow, what a fun show this was. The Groovie Goolies is set at a decrepit castle known as Horrible Hall. The show focused on its monstrous but good-natured and mostly friendly inhabitants. Now, of course, Filmation actually created this as an original creation, though its characters would cross over with Sabrina the Teenage Witch and even with the Archie series later on, even with the Looney Tunes, but I'll get to that later. Now, and the Ghoulies were a group of hip monsters residing at Horrible Hall, a haunted boarding house for monsters on Horrible Drive. Many of the characters referred to each other as cousins. Most of the Ghoulies were, in look and sound, pop culture echoes of the classic horror film monsters created in the 1930s and 1940s, mostly by Universal Pictures. Now, of course, there were other characters, but some of them were named after pop culture names. Shows consisted of fast cut sequences of pun filled jokes and short skits, and each episode included two pop songs, one performed by the titular characters of the monster, which they would be known as the Monster Trio, and a closing number by a rotating roster of bands, which again I'll get to that as well. So, I've seen all episodes of this, and they are absolutely incredible. I have to give it credit for what it had to offer. And it's absolutely, really zany. But how did this come to be? Well, thanks to television airings, the Universal Classic Monsters were having a resurgence of popularity in the 60s, and Lou Scheimer at Filmation, who had grown up with the films, wanted to create a humorous anime adaptation. So he hired Laughing writers Jack Mendelson and Jim Mulligan, who of course would also work on several other Filmation shows, to begin developing a show called Monster in INN, which would riff on the characters that Universal had popularized. Although some of their initial ideas fell by the wayside, the groundwork for the series was quickly laid, including having the monsters living together in a castle and the lead trio performing pop songs, similar to what we had recently gone with the Archie show, and also Archie's Funhouse series, which debuted the same year this came out in 1970. Mendelsohn also had been raised with the Universal Films and claimed to have done most of the work on the show while Mulligan took the money and ran. Fred Silverman, who of course was head of children's programming at CBS at the time in '69, asked for a companion to the Archie show. So they began developing Sabrina the Teenage Witch, who had already appeared as a supporting character on the show. Silverman was also looking to exploit the overwhelming success of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? By rival studio Hanna-Barbera, so he optioned Scheimer's Monster Show, which went through a succession of titles before they settled on Groovie Goolies. Since both shows featured witches, the decision was made to package them together in an hour-long block. Hence, it was Sabrina and the Groovie Goolies. Interestingly, monsters had been coming to the Archie's Madhouse comics, Sabrina's actual origins. So, the show featured two 15-minute segments of Sabrina originally and a 30-minute block of the Groovie Goolies. Each episode was really spook-tacular. The characters cross over into both shows. During the inaugural season, it was the highest rated children programming. It received a 54% audience share. This incarnation featured a variation of the Ghoulie Get Together, which is the theme song, which announced it's time for the Ghoulies and Sabrina. The next year in '71, CBS split the two shows apart and paired reruns of Groovie Goolies with Tom and Jerry on Sunday mornings. Of course, they would later have a Filmation show in an hour-long animation block. Anyway, now in an hour-long animation block beginning on September 12th. It was at this point that the more common Ghoulie Get Together opening credit sequence was created, consisting of a montage of scenes from the song The Monster Trio. After a single season on Sundays, the show had completely vanished on September 17th, 1972. It would later get rerun in syndication, and later in 1978, a big block featuring previous Filmation shows from the few years prior to this block, The Groovie Goolies and Friends, came along, which featured My Favorite Martians, The New Adventures of Gilligan, Wallow Kitty, various the animated segments from Uncle Croc's block, and lastly's Rescue Rangers, which that's the only one of the only Filmation shows that has yet to be covered. Anyway, I soon found the show on YouTube. Since I never did get the DVD of it, I wasn't sure what to think of it. But anyway, after watching it, I just realized I just didn't become quick enough, though. Still, it proved to be good. Despite the cancellation of the show, CBS wasn't done with the Groovie Goolies yet. In '72, they were bumped up to regulars on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, appearing in half of that season's episodes, which continued to be rerun until '74. That same year, they also appeared on ABC in one of their Saturday Superstar movies in Daffy Duck and Porky Pig Meet the Groovie Goolies, teaming them with some Looney Tunes characters, not all of them though. The full movie is on YouTube, but you can check it out. The film also featured a brief live-action sequence featuring some of the Ghoulies. ABC later rebroadcast the original series for a season on both on Saturday and Sunday mornings. Despite the failure of Uncle Croc's block, the characters made their final original appearances in a couple episodes of the new Archie Sabrina Hour on NBC. And Frankie was featured in that show's closing credits. Okay, I made a slight error. It wasn't '78. It was '77 when the Groovie Goolies and Friends came into syndication. And yes, I got all the shows I mentioned are on here. Filmation planned to produce a Groovie Goolies feature film in '78, but it never came to fruition. In 1984, the company decided to resurrect the property, developing two separate shows: Fright Camp, which was set at a summer camp, and would have starred the Junior Ghoulies, the children of the pre-established Groovie Ghoulies. And a second prospective show was titled The Ghoulies and would have featured the characters as toddlers. Neither series ever got past its development stage. However, for the Ghostbusters cartoon in 1986, Filmation borrowed many elements from the show, most notably the Skelevator, which was a little different looking. And they reused designs and animations of two characters, Drac and the character of Bella Lugosly, in the episode The Girl Who Cried Vampire. And kind of strange though, the cartoon also aired in the UK version of Hanna-Barbera's Banana Splits in the early 80s. It's been translated into many languages, and of course, the complete series was remastered and issued to DVD by BCI Eclipse in 2006, but is now out of print. Since then, various episodes have surfaced on compilation DVDs and discs have also been issued elsewhere around the globe. In 2009, there were re-edited mini episodes released on the Crackle streaming site. The show's structure was similar to that of NBC's Rowan Martin's Laugh-In, with several short segments of one-liner jokes and reels. This was most shown by Weird Windows Time, which of course was similar to the Laugh-In joke wall segment. Every so often, one of the Ghoulies had a special segment in which they instructed the audience about one thing or another, such as Dracula's Schoolhouse, Hagatha's Bedtime Stories, home movies, The Mummy's Wrap Up, which was a news program, and Wolfie's Theater. Now, and there would be some fun-filled music and what have you. In late 1970, RCA Victor released the Groovie Goolies album. Now, it's pretty tough to find, but if you can't find it, you probably find it on Discogs.com for a reasonable price. If you can't, no problem. I haven't really listened to it. The full album's actually on YouTube. Now, of course, this featured re-recorded versions of the songs done by live-action Wolfie, played by Jeffrey Thomas, Ed Fournier as Frankie, and Dick Monda as Drac. Monda reworked the lyrics and re-recorded an additional song for the series Chickabum, Don't You Just Love It, under pseudonym Daddy Dewdrop in 1971, which hit number 5 on Cashbox's Top 100, which landed him on the list of 100 of the one-hit wonders at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Excuse me. Anyway, now of course this features several of the pretty good songs from the actual series. Among some of them included Bumble Ghoulie, Frankie, The Ghoulie Get Together, which of course is the show's theme song, Cling Clang, the Ghoulie Garden, the first annual semi-formal combination celebration, Meet the Monster Population Party. I just call it Population Party for short. And 1, 2, 3, which that's one of my favorites. There will be a French version released and a Czechoslovak version as well. So anyway, yeah. Well, not just on DVD, but the series has also been released on video cassette in numerous territories. Their first video released in the US was from Embassy Home Entertainment in 1985. They didn't have any others until 1989 and 1990 when United American Video released a couple titles. Now, of course, some of the first set of episodes would include also later get included onto BCI Eclipse titles, the Frightfully Funny collection, which included the Filmation Ghostbusters series, and on the second half with some episodes of that and Freddy Cat from Uncle Croc's Block. In 2012, when Universal acquired the rights from Classic Media, which of course is DreamWorks Classics, they released a sampler DVD containing 5 episodes. The show would also get included on Classic Media Sabrina the Teenage Witch complete animated series. Unfortunately, not the Universal release though. But anyway, yes. So I think this show is so absolutely funny and crazy. Especially how each episode starts out with this. Welcome to Horrible Hall. And then Drax flying in and heads for the open window and it closes it on, or moves down one spot to the side. Then he looks up and is like, this place is driving me batty. For the voice acting cast, we have voicing Drac is Larry Storch, who of course played Corporal Agarn on F Troop, as well as he had also done the voice of Phineas J. Whoopi on Tennessee Tuxedo and His Tales. He also voiced Hagatha in the first 13 episodes, as well as Goulahan, a flowing white glove, Batso and Ratso in the first 12 episodes, and others. Jane Webb, who of course once again voices Sabrina, also voices the character of Bella Lugosi, who is the operator, the telephone operator that is. She's like, Bella Lugosi spooking. Very funny. Howard Morris, who of course was well known for voicing Jughead in the Archie series, and of course recently voicing Beale Bailey, Atamant, and others, voiced Frankie, Wolfie, and many others. He also took Hagatha for the remaining 3 episodes, as well as Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, a two-headed monster, one head for Jekyll and one for Hyde. The Mummy, Fauntleroy, a spoiled little brat of a ghoulie, and did the vocal effects for Orville, a plant that eats everything, as also the narrator that introduced us Welcome to Horrible Hall. Now, of course, I've already done Drac. He's kind of a hothead at times. Frankie, he's pretty funny and what have you. I really like whenever he gets zapped and what have you. We see this mechanical insides when he gets zapped by lightning. He's like, I needed that. I especially love in some skits, one in particular where he's looking through books and why. Here's one where he uses an alternate version of his famous line. Like, here's a good book. The Battle of Bunker Hill. A little toy cannon comes out and fires a cork and it's like, I didn't need that. Very funny. Larry D. Mann, who of course voiced Yukon Cornelius in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, as well as Rusty Tin Man and the Wicked Witch on Tales of the Wizard of Oz, and the Patty Freeling's The Blue Racer voices Bonaparte. Yes, a fine type looking skeleton that's, well, wears a hat that's similar to Bonaparte. Well, Napoleon Bonaparte. Well, you get what I'm saying. Know what I mean? Uh, Dallas McKinnon, who of course voiced Archie and others, does the vocal effects for the character of Rover, as well as later voice for Batso and Ratso and others. There was also John Irwin, who did select voices. So anyway, I think the Groovie Goolies is so funny, and it's a great show with great characters. You'll know what they are. Oh yes, there was one thing I almost forgot to bring up. They had special guest stars at the end of each episode during the second song. Those were the Mummies and the Puppies, a take on the Mamas and the Papas, the Spirits of 76, the Backbones Band, and the Rolling Headstones, a take on the Rolling Stones. Yes. So now then, here's a little shot of some of the characters. Now here's a look at some artwork in this. Here's what I can find of the group and what have you. Now you see most of them, maybe not all of them, got Drac, Wolfie, and Frankie with their instruments. Still ghostly, there's Orville, there's Hagatha, Fauntleroy, a couple of their monsters, and of course Ratso and Batso. Okay, now here's a look through some other monsters I had to wind up. This is 2 of their monsters I forgot to mention. That's the blue one's Icky and the red one's Goo, and there's Bonaparte and there's Mummy. There's lots of other things around Horrible Hall. There's the Asket Casket. Oh, there's Wolfie's Wolf Wagon, which is absolutely funny looking. I mean, they actually did kind of alter it up for one episode for Fangster in an episode of the Filmation Ghostbusters cartoon, as a matter of fact. Of course, there's the Skelevator, which is much more different looking than the Ghostbusters one, because it's an actual skull looking one. Still, I will admit, Groovie Goolies is one spook-tacularly fun show. I definitely would recommend you watch this. Now, if you're having trouble finding this on physical media, if it's out of print, no problem. You can find the full series on YouTube. It's also available on the Internet Archive as well. Just look up Groovie Goolies. Just make sure it's GROOVIE GOOLIES. And there you got it. Just make sure to put a space between Groovie and Ghoulies. You know what I'm saying? All right, so now you know about Groovie Goolies. What did you think of this show? Have you ever watched the Groovie Goolies? If so, let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. We'll have another video coming for you later tonight. Next weekend, I'm going to be doing another revisit Saturday Morning TV Log, and it'll be on the Ghostbusters from 1975. Which also happened to star Larry Storch, rest in peace. So if you like this, check out some of these Saturday Morning TV logs I had done long after my original Groovie Goolies vid, and it's on when we see different versions of Drac and Frankie and Wolfman, but as heroes. In the upper left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TV log on Drac Pack from 1980. The upper right-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TV log on Monster Squad from 1976. Or if you would like, check out last week's Saturday Morning TV log as I revisit the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch animated series from Filmation. In the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TV log. Then I'm your guy. Oh, I almost forgot to mention before I end this, I made an error. I had thought the Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein was coming to Netflix. I was wrong. It's not coming till next month, so it's having a limited release in theaters. So you'll get something else later tonight. That's why I said we'll have another video coming for you later on. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.